For more than 150 years, Fire Rescue International has been the premier global gathering of those committed to improving the leadership of firefighters and emergency responders worldwide. From the Lone Star State, the International Association of Fire Chiefs brings you FRI 24, and we are bringing it all to you. I'm Andrea Godfrey, and this is IAFC TV. Welcome back to our third and final day of IAFC TV as we shift our focus to the IAFC's commitment to educating and elevating those at the forefront of the fire and rescue industry. The Officer Development Program is helping you build leadership skills through an exciting new partnership. We hear more from an instructor and an enrollee about how this program is igniting new careers. Plus, it was a case that sent shockwaves through the EMS community. Attorney Stephen Wirth weighs in on the lessons learned from the Elijah Mcclain case and how paramedics can protect themselves.
We don't judge people. Whether they got in that situation, whether they're on drugs, whether they're under alcohol influence, we treat the patient based on their condition.
And today we wrap up our tour of the departments across the country, finding innovative and exciting new ways to serve their communities. You can find the latest episode on the TVs placed throughout the convention center, on the in-house channels at our partner hotels, and on our YouTube and X channels. We wrap up this week with a focus on education and a return to the new partnership between the IAFC and Columbia Southern University. This is to expand the Officer Development Program. To dive a little deeper into this collaboration, here now are Lieutenant John Russ and Dr. Sarah Jonke.
I've been involved with the IAFC since I very first started doing research. They've been fantastic at supporting the research that we've done, helping us come up with research ideas and helping us translate the results into practice. And Officer Development Program, I've been involved actually with Columbia Southern for quite a while on the advisory board, interested in what they're doing, and think the collaboration is really fantastic.
I'm a graduate from the Company Officer Leadership Symposium. I did all 3 years. Completed that a few years ago. I'm now in my second year of the Cheiefs program for the Cheiefs Officer Development.
I've really enjoyed teaching the courses and being in the room and hearing the excitement. I think it's important that we standardize some of the education and training that people get, because there are a lot of different approaches, and there need to be some approaches that are universal in the fire service. There needs to be specific information that people get about what's important, and we traditionally haven't done that well in the fire service, and it's progress. And I think yesterday I was teaching a course, and it was amazing because so many people in the room were engaged. About half the room was there to go through the course series, but the other half was just interested in the topic, and it was great conversation, it was great engagement. There was a lot of discussion in the room about the topics we had, and we were able to share new information in a standardized way.
There's 6 different topics. They include health and safety, operational, command, leadership, general leadership courses. There's some human resources in there as well. It's really a lot of the courses are geared towards how we operate as in leaders and in the firehouse, which is things where I think some of our other conferences that we kind of miss out on. So it's a really good course programming.
I'm focused on pretty much anything health and wellness, everything from my PhD's in psychology, so I'm interested in psychology. I'm interested in the modifiable risk factors in cancer, cardiovascular disease. We've done research on health of women in the fire service, bullying and harassment, impacts of discrimination on folks in the fire service, and how, like, the importance of the kitchen table. Pretty much anything that needs to be researched, we're all about researching.
So it's 3 different years. There's 6 courses that you do on site at Fire Rescue International, and then there's 2 courses that you do online through Columbia Southern University. It is a commitment to to come into the conference or going through the programming for 3 consecutive years. But the online courses really aren't that bad. It's not anything that's going to be super labor intensive. Again, it's really just dedicating the time to be here at the conference.
What I'm hearing so far is the collaboration is really successful and it's a great approach. I think there's always challenges with going a new direction, and I think for what's been done, it's amazing that it's come so far as fast as it has. And I think that it's kind of taking things to the next level. It takes the conference to the next level because it standardizes a lot. It gets everyone the information that they need. It's exciting. It's an exciting step forward, I think.
It helped me tremendously. Again, we incorporate things like diversity and inclusion and equity, and we see that in our hiring practices. But one of the things we've missed was how company officers are learning those skills to be able to incorporate that back home in the firehouse. So we're learning those skills here at this conference through the Cheiefs program and through the company officer leadership courses that allows me to be a better leader and mentor within the firehouse itself.
Next up, we head to Branson, Missouri, a small town with more visitors coming in every year than actual residents. Check out how the Branson Fire Rescue Department works closely with entertainment venues and the amusement parks in the city to keep both tourists and residents safe.
Branson has many unique attractions, from go-kart tracks to zip lines to roller coasters to the Ferris wheel, and we really work closely with the Branson Fire Department and our emergency planning and procedures to make sure that we have a safe environment, not only here but in the entire community.
We operate as a small town fire department that serves and protects big city features, including our theaters, our attractions, and our lodging. We spend a lot of time working within our community, whether it be the residential base or the business world, just seeing what their expectations are and what the needs are. And we try to do our goals and objectives annually to meet or exceed the customer's expectations.
I fully believe that Branson Fire and Rescue is completely ready and capable to face any challenges it may face in the future.
Turning now to a very hot topic. In 2019, a 23-year-old Colorado man died after being injected with a powerful sedative by a paramedic after a confrontation with police. 2 paramedics were found guilty of criminally negligent homicide, and understandably, this court case sent shockwaves through the rest of the first responder community. Here with us now is attorney Stephen Wirth with how we should adapt to this new development. Pleasure to have you today.
Thank you, Archer. Great to be here.
Well, I wish that we were talking about something a little bit more positive.
Yes.
We're talking about this Elijah Mcclain case. It garnered national attention. Can you kind of set the stage for us and explain what happened?
Well, basically, Mr. Mcclain was walking home minding his own business and was confronted by law enforcement because someone called in and said, there's a sketchy person, you might want to check him out. And literally within seconds, he was brought down to the ground in a prone position. Chokeholds were applied, and then EMS, fire rescue, arrived. And very quickly, they decided to administer ketamine. And unfortunately, part of that process, the whole case involved the extent to which they assessed or didn't assess his condition in the first place, and whether it was indicated to give him the drug and how much was given, and a lot of other factors. But the bottom line is too much ketamine was given to Mr. Mcclain, and he unfortunately passed away a couple of days later.
The use of a sedative, the use of ketamine is not out of the ordinary.
No.
Okay.
Not.
Does dosage matter when it comes to the use of this substance?
Dosage matters a lot. You got to get the dosage right. But even if you get the dosage wrong and you get the dosage too much, you give the patient a little too much, as long as you properly assess the patient, you have the equipment at the side of the patient to monitor the patient's condition and to manage airway issues if they vomit or if their pulse drops, that sort of thing. You can manage those sorts of things. And that was a big issue in this case, too, as to the extent to which an assessment was done initially and after the ketamine was given.
So like I mentioned, 2 paramedics were found guilty of criminally negligent homicide. Yes. There are no clear lines of division on when the police officer should step back and let EMS take over. Is that where the waters get muddied?
That's right.
Okay.
You hit the nail on the head. There is no clear demarcation of that. And we need to work on that. We need to work with law enforcement. We need to come up with checklists. We need to do joint training with real live scenarios of patients in custody and how we deal with them. Patients who are fighting, hey, we practice a lot of different scenarios. You know, we practice treating cardiac arrest patients or multiple trauma victims or mass casualties. We've been weak at and have not done enough of training involving mental health patients that are difficult to deal with, patients in police custody, patients who are kicking and screaming and yelling at us and treating us disrespectfully, you know, because we're all human beings. We tend to react to those sorts of things.
You say that paramedics across the country should not despair based on the results of this case. What are your takeaways from this case? Have there been any new changes implemented as a result of the Elijah Mcclain case? Yeah, a lot of changes. I think, first of all, we're doing more training, and that's important. We're getting medical directors more actively involved, okay? We're throwing away this so-called diagnosis of excited delirium, okay? It's a catch-all to say, okay, give them ketamine, okay? We've seen that happen, okay? So we're doing a lot of training. I think we're seeing protocol changes. We're seeing better training in terms of recognizing the biases that affect all of us, okay, in terms of patients we treat, making sure we're treating everybody equally, fairness, with dignity. So a lot of things. It's been a wake-up call, I think, and a good wake-up call in the sense we can take these tragedies, because it's more than the Elijah Mcclain case, there's the Orr Moore case, there's other cases as well, and learning from them. And that's the key, learning from them and doing a better job. We can always improve, and that's what we're seeing across the country, and we've been working with a lot of departments in that area. Right, because whether you're in the firefighting realm, you're an EMT, saving lives is at the bottom of what we want to do. That's right, you know, and being respectful, you know, just acting, you know, like you care about somebody, showing that empathy toward that person's situation, and don't judge them. You know, part of the problem is, hey, people in fire and EMS, they're dealing with people in their worst moments. That's true. They're yelling at them, screaming at them, spitting at them, kicking them, screaming. We don't judge people. Whether they got into that situation, whether they're on drugs, whether they're under alcohol influence, we treat the patient based on their condition that they present to us. And I think it's important that this be a leadership imperative, because we've seen departments where the culture isn't always the best, okay? Where officers look the other way because it's easier to look the other way rather than confront the person, you know, and say, hey, your behavior wasn't really respectful in that interaction. Let's talk about that. But we need to do that. Well, a very unfortunate situation all around, but hopefully some positive change can come. Absolutely. As a result. Pleasure to have you today. Thank you. Thank you, Autria. Atlanta Fire Rescue Department is exploring innovative ways to meet the challenges of a growing city, from new technologies to enhanced community services and specialized airport operations. AFRD is evolving to stay ahead.
The fire service is changing right before our eyes, and we are intending to change with it as the city of Atlanta grows. We have our doors open to answer a plethora of questions and to provide additional services that may be unique. And so our goal is to reduce the call volume in this, to make our community aware of what we are doing and let them know that we're always here for them.
Yeah, with Hartsfield-Jackson Atlanta Airport being the busiest and most efficient airport. We have 5 fire stations. We have a full fleet of 10 new Rosenbauer Panthers. We train for a varying array of different things that we do at the airport.
We've expanded at aviation and opened a EMS clinic. And the idea behind the clinic is to keep passengers on the airport property.
With the addition of the Atlanta Public Safety Training Center, we'll be able to enhance our training initiatives and do more than we've been able to do in the past.
The city is constantly growing, and we have to change and grow with the city if we want to stay and remain a valuable entity in the city.
Today we are putting the I in FRI and how firefighting on an international stage can bring about its own set of problems. Division Chief of Training for the Essen Fire Department in Germany, Susanne Klatt, is here with us in studio to discuss how proper education among cultures can save lives. A pleasure to have you with us today.
I'm glad to be here, thanks.
Absolutely. All right, now you're here at FRI highlighting fireground safety through a new lens. What is that new lens?
I hope it's a new lens, and my lens would be to put more the psychological part into fire safety education and how it would impact our approach to firefighting.
When you say a psychological approach, what do you mean by that?
Well, there's a lot of psychological stuff behind the culture we are living in, and culture is also part of our identity, so it's really hard to change something like that. And when I attended a couple of conferences and trainings here in the United States, I had the feeling that we pretty much have the same goals. So we all want to have a safe environment, to work safely on the fire ground. We don't want to have any injuries, we don't want to have any line of duty deaths. But there's something underlying, there's something behind it, and the psychological aspects like the culture we were raised in is different. Like in Germany it's more, I would say, risk averse. We still do everything to save everyone we can, but we have a different cultural approach to that. And here in the United States I have the feeling that taking risk is more valued, and I just try to put some understanding behind it. So you can decide if you want to change something or not, but if you know why it is, how it is, it makes you probably more confident to make different decisions and take a different approach.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Are there any specific steps or protocols that we take here in the United States that Germany does not, or vice versa?
Well, actually, if you compare the training standards, protocols, safety protocols, it sounds the same.
Okay.
So I thought, why are the number of line of duty deaths higher here, even compared to the different size of departments, the number of firefighters and citizens in the different countries? So even if you compare all these numbers and put them on the same level, the number of line of duty deaths are higher. There are some different statistical things behind it, because in Germany a line of duty death is really just counted if it's in the line of duty, not like 24 hours later.
Okay.
Or if there are any underlying medical issues behind it, it wouldn't probably count as a line of duty death. But still there are different approaches, and I felt that it's a different type of honor and value here. If you can just give everything you have, and that's including your life probably, it's more accepted, even if it's very obvious that their lives aren't probably savable anymore.
So do you attribute those cultural differences to the higher line of duty deaths versus training standards? And
yes,
you do?
I would do, yeah.
So how do we change that?
Yeah,
$1 million question, right?
Yeah, it's $1 million question, because culture has a huge impact on your own identity, and changing your identity is really something that's hard. And it won't make you the most popular fire officer in your department if you approach something like that. But I have the impression that things are changing. Like if you look at the topics like fire cancer, that's also a huge issue in Germany. And a couple of years ago, we would have still these battle-worn protective equipment, everything and it's like dirty, and you have your scorch marks on your helmet, so it shows that you're really bad as firefighter. And now, whenever we go into a fire, we immediately have to change our gear. We have to clean the helmets. Everyone got new helmets, and that was absolutely no-go like 10 or 15 years ago. But now the awareness of cancer, fire cancer, is so much more. So this culture is changing. It's more acceptable, and I have the same feeling here in the United States. It just takes really time, and you really have to have a what is it saying, like a long breath, and
take a deep breath,
deep breath, yes, and just to be persistent and being aware of the things who are behind this, like the cultural aspects. And so over the years, I hope it will change.
Well, the psychology behind firefighting is fascinating, especially when you talk about crossing international borders. So we really do appreciate your time and your insights today.
Yeah, thank you very much.
The Lansing Fire Department is leading the way in growth and innovation by modernizing operations, engaging the community, and delivering top-notch emergency services. They're setting new standards for excellence. For our final stop today, we take a look at the Lansing Fire Department and how they are driving the city's progress.
The Lansing Fire Department is committed to providing world-class, all-hazards emergency services with a significant degree of professionalism, pride, excellence, and integrity.
We are one of the top fire departments in the state and in the country. We have appropriate certifications and trainings that make our firefighters some of the best in the world.
Right now we're focused on standardization and modernization of our organization. Lansing is the capital of the state of Michigan. We want to be the preferred employer of choice within public safety, fire service, and emergency management.
Lansing's time is now. I firmly believe that everything we're doing to grow our city, whether it's development, whether it's services, whether it's proactive public safety, whether it's anything that we provide for our citizens, our residents, our visitors, we're doing it now.
Now to one of my favorite parts of Fire Rescue International, a trip to the exhibit hall. We've recruited our fire and water technology guru, Kevin Sofin, to give us a tour of the most innovative offerings this year.
Hello everyone, Kevin Sofin here at the FRI show floor in Dallas 2024. I'm the technology advisor with IAFC and also the host of the Smart Firefighting podcast. Excited to show you around the FRI show floor. We're going to go check out some communications equipment, some extrication tools, some EV vehicles, and a range of technology for public safety. Excited to show you around, so let's go check it out. Derek, what are we looking at here?
This is the Howlin' Howl Thermate RS3. It's a firefighting robot. It can flow up to 2,500 gallons of water per minute. It has thermal cameras on the front, cameras all the way around, and we'll use that to go in and fight the fire. Take the firefighters' lives out of danger.
And why is this something that's relevant to firefighters? I put this on and it helps me do what?
So basically, if you're in a smoke-filled environment, it can help you keep the hand free and able to see through the smoke and able to send in the data out to a command platform outside. The fire chief can monitoring what is going on inside.
Okay, do you see these ducks are giving away? Craig, give me the scoop on all things T-Mobile and public safety.
Yeah, absolutely. The showpiece of our entire booth here is this large SAC cone. This is our Nomad, is what they call it. And this is one of the deployable assets we take out during emergency. These are tethered drones, which means if you've got a remote location, like I'm from Utah, the high Uintas, right? Mountains where there's no connectivity from anyone, we can tether our coverage up to a place where it's non-existent. These two towers here, you know, you can throw those masts up and you're getting another 1.5 to 2 miles of coverage when you need it.
On to the next place. So when they're searching, if they have to search for something that's submerged in the water, it will actually give them a full 3D picture of what they are looking at. Can you do a pull-up on this thing? You have at her. All right. Come on up. Sonar, it has radar. And then you got a fire pump here as well. Yes. We build fire boats that will take all the way up to 2,000 gallons a minute. That's awesome. Keep up the good work and thanks for what you're doing. You bet. Appreciate it. Yeah. Okay, now you're good to go. Kind of want to hold one.
These are all of our next generation of rescue tools.
Can I pick one out?
Absolutely. So this is our 40 CL spreader. This goes to 20 inches. You can open it up all the way. We want to use these all for good purposes, and that's to save lives.
Yeah. Hey, well, you guys are doing good work. I really appreciate it. Ready to go. See my SCBA. It's game time, baby. If I press any of the buttons, will the sirens go off now?
Oh, they'll all go off, man.
Can I press any?
Let them fly.
Kind of feels like a futuristic video game. Moderately terrifying. Feels like I might be... Oh, I'm controlling the nozzle up top here. I feel like we're moving closer to nature. Not just trucks, we got robots too. Zach, Rosenbauer makes all different types of equipment. We were just inside your EV vehicle, but this robot, tell me what it is and why is it relevant to first responders?
Yeah, this is the Rosenbauer RTE. The reason why Rosenbauer exists is to serve firefighters, keep them safe, and give them more technology to operate and do their jobs easier and safer.
And can I operate and control the nozzle from here?
You can. You just hit the big start button here, and that'll deploy the nozzle. It'll light us up like a stadium.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Hey, you guys are doing good work. I appreciate what you're doing, and keep up the good stuff.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
Our thanks to Kevin for that tour today, and be sure to check out his podcast, Smart Firefighting, available wherever you get your podcasts. Well, it has been an incredible week here with you at FRI 24. We may be wrapping up, but our content lives on. You can go back and watch any episode on the FRI homepage or on our X and YouTube pages. Thanks so much for joining us here on IAFC TV this week. On behalf of all of us, thank you for all you do to keep us safe. We'll see you next year in sunny Orlando. Safe travels home, everyone.